Hello, welcome to Happy Life Results Book Group.
Welcome.
We're in a section called number 4, Do This, and it's in Hero Concept number 2, Up. So there are 7 like bullet points or 7
Hero tasks.
Yes. Hero tasks. Yes, and we're going to cover the first 5 today. So these are cool. This is exciting. I really like it when when we're in the application stage after having all the theory. It's so exciting. Okay, so number 1, think 80-20 and look for the critical few, i.e. the biggest game-changing ideas. As the guide presents the concepts, make a list in your hero journal of the top game-changer ideas that you see as having the best or the biggest potential positive impact for you starting today. From your list, select the top 3. So we'll read through these all consecutively and then we'll go back and talk about them.
Oh, okay, cool. 2, start with happy as you consider the ways to apply these concepts, and then as you move to application, follow the guide's suggestions on what will make the biggest difference in your experience and in your results. Bring enjoyment and interest to the learning party.
For each of the top 3 game changers, this is number 3. For each of the top 3 game changers, come up with one application that would deliver the most meaningful results. Document where you are with the application now, and then what you think could happen using UP principles.
Number 4, choose one application and try it out for 24 hours starting now. Once you have the application selected and documented, move on to the next concept.
The day after your 24-hour application, jot down a little about your experience. What state were you in as you applied it? Did you resort to any traditional methods? What went well and what could be better? All right, so number 1, think 80-20 and look for the critical few. So if those kind of seem unfamiliar, go back and it's at the beginning of guide concept number 2 where we talk about 80-20 and the critical few.
This is a chance to practice it. So
Yes.
if it was just theory, now you get a chance to look at it and use it, so you're learning that plus the UP.
Yes. So as the guide presents the concepts, make a list in your hero journal. So in your hero journal, so hopefully you have your guidebook and you have a hero journal, and in your hero journal you want to list all of the top game changer ideas that you think would have the best impact on your experience. So think about all 7 concepts, and then there's additional ones that we've covered in the hero section that aren't concepts, but they're very powerful ideas. Things like the thumb and the sun, and the language learning comparison, and things like that. So just what stands out in your mind if you review everything that you've learned, kind of skip through, like go through your guidebook and say what concepts were the most powerful for me, and that will be your game changer. So your game changer is a word for the concept or the breakthrough, because your words will be different. If you translated everything, we can't even use the word, joystick, or, because hopefully you came up with your own, completely your own, translated it into your language. So whatever game changer I'll just refresh, game changer means whatever concept or breakthrough you think would have the most powerful effect in your life if you practiced it. That's your game changer. And then what is your application? So let's first you make a list, and then from that list you take your top 3. Were you going to say something?
You said a second ago 7 concepts. I think we've said 9 before. There are 9, right? These are 7 steps. You said,
sorry. 9 concepts.
9 concepts.
There's
7 hero tasks.
Hero tasks for today.
One.
Sorry, yeah.
No problem. Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying.
Just in case. Yeah.
Yep. So start with happy. Bring interest to the learning party. Realize that things don't inherently make you happy, but you bring that feeling to the experience, and you will get better and better at that. And then 3, for the top 3 game changers, come up with one application. So you're familiar with game changers. It's a new word to represent the concept or breakthrough that you chose that would have the most positive application or most positive influence in your life, and then come up with one application that would deliver the most meaningful results. So when we talk about application, it's the application is there for you to measure how much you've internalized the game changer. So think about it that way and try to put that in your own words, underline it, and be like, okay, the point is to make that breakthrough, that game changer, a part of me. Internalize it so
Nice.
it's effortless.
Okay, yeah.
And the way you do that is through your application. And a lot of times people flip it on accident and they're like, okay, I really want this outcome. And so then they'll work really hard and then they'll just decide how well they did only they'll only be focused on the outcome because they think the outcome's going to make them happy. So if you are like, okay, I want to lose 5 pounds because if I do, then I'm going to feel so much better about myself. That's not the method that we're doing, right? Because we're starting with that happy feeling. We're applying it to something that's measurable, like weight. You can weigh yourself. I mean, it's a little crazy because if you gain muscle, then you'll gain weight. And if you because weight, so
It's
it's not.
You're just using an example.
Using it as an example.
We're not saying that's what you should focus
No.
on.
Yeah, so it's just do something and then measure whatever you're measuring. It's not so that you're getting closer to your goal so that you'll feel happy at the end. It's so that you can measure how well you've internalized the game changer. And that was really hard for me to explain. I really struggled with people understanding that. So I practiced a bit.
Nice.
So hopefully it makes sense now.
And you notice also a part of this exercise, as part of these tasks Stacey's giving, is to refresh. You've gone through all the concepts in theory and things, and now this is like a quick refresh, because you'll notice that when you go to apply things, that all of the concepts will come into play. So it's good to get a quick refresher before you start using them.
Yes. And so then you choose the application, so you document it and document where you're at with it and where you want to be. And then number 4, choose the application and try it out for 24 hours. So then once you've done that, then you could move on to the next concept, or you could do the same one. So jot it down after your 24 application, then jot it down. What state were you in? Were you starting with happy, or were you kind of not? Did you resort to traditional methods? What went well? Like, document it. So that's really powerful. And then we'll talk tomorrow about what to do after the 24 hours and how to go on from there. Like, yeah.
Cool.
But that's basically it. And so I could give you an example. So for example, I wanted to start intermittent fasting. And so I didn't, this is just an example. Okay, so I would say, okay, my game changer is, let's say I want to use the lens. With fasting, it'd be good to use signals. So maybe we could do signals. So signals is interpreting the physiological response in the body and treating it as a neutral signal instead of as a signal that means I have to take action now, and the action is maybe not in alignment with my end goal. So I wanted to experience and explore fasting, and so that the game changer would be signals, and then the application is intermittent fasting. And so I would practice intermittent fasting, say, okay, I want to shorten my window. Say I'm normally eating during an 8-hour window, and I want to try a 7-hour window. So I have that extra hour that I'm not eating, that my body was used to eating. And so then whenever I think about hunger, I love using hunger because it's such an insistent thing. When at the beginning, whenever you're changing something, you get that hunger signal, and then you get the hunger signal, and then you instantly think in your mind, what does this hunger mean? And then it means you have a chance to internalize the concepts. It's so powerful. I love it. I love doing that one.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's my example. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, see ya.